Title: AITA for insisting if I can't have my partner over, neither can anyone else. Verdict: not the asshole. I'm a 20-year-old guy living in a flat with 3 other people. My childhood best friend Megan, 23F, a guy from my uni course, Derek, 20M, and his cousin, Mallory, 26F. For the most part, we all get along and don't really have major conflicts. But this one issue has blown up recently. About 6 months ago, I started dating a guy I've known for a couple of years. I'll call him Christian, 21M. It's still a relatively new relationship, but I really like him. He makes me happy, and we're both pretty serious about each other. Because I have chronic fatigue syndrome, going out on proper dates can be really hard for me. I get exhausted easily, and things like going out to dinner, seeing a movie, or doing anything that involves a lot of travel or stimulation can wipe me out for days. So instead, Christian would come over to my flat 3 or 4 times a week. We'd usually just hang out in my room, or sometimes in the living room, watch TV, order takeout, or cook something simple together. I didn't really think I needed to formally ask permission for this for a couple of reasons. First, everyone else in the flat has their partners over just as often, if not more. Second, Christian rarely spends the night and usually leaves before 10 p.m. because of his work schedule. He's not loud, he doesn't leave a mess, and he mostly sticks to my room or the kitchen. About 2 weeks ago, Mallory came to me and told me I needed to stop having my boyfriend over because it was starting to get annoying. I asked her what exactly was annoying about it, and she said it was irritating having someone who doesn't live there skulking around all the time. I pointed out that her boyfriend, Gerald, sleeps over 3 nights a week and is actually there more often than Christian. She said that was different because she and Gerald have been together for 11 years and are planning to move in together when her lease here is up. According to her, that somehow makes it more acceptable for him to basically live at our place part-time. Then she told me she'd talked to the other flatmates, and they'd all agreed that Christian either needs to stop coming over, or he has to start chipping in for rent because it's getting ridiculous. For context, none of the other partners pay any rent, including Gerald, who is there constantly. I went to talk to Megan and Derek separately. They both confirmed that yes, this agreement had been made, but Megan also told me that Mallory basically pressured her into it. The utilities and Wi-Fi are all in Mallory's name, and Megan said Mallory threatened to cut them off if she didn't agree. So it wasn't exactly a fair democratic decision. I asked if this new rule applied to everyone's partners or just mine. I was told, very clearly, that it was just about Christian. No one else's partner was being asked to stay away or pay rent. I said that was obviously unfair, and I was basically told to deal with it. So this is where my potential assholery comes in. Since they're insisting on this rule only for me, I've started loudly insisting that if my partner isn't allowed over, then no one else's partner should be allowed over either. If I answer the door and it's someone's partner, I'll tell them they can't come in because apparently we don't allow non-rent paying partners over anymore. If I come home and see someone's partner already there, I'll make a point of saying something like, "Oh, I thought we weren't having partners who don't pay rent over anymore. Did that change?" I've also started asking Gerald, in front of everyone, how much rent he pays. When he says he doesn't pay any, he'll act mock offended and say things like, "Wow, must be nice to be the only one allowed to stay here for free." I'm definitely being petty and passive-aggressive about it, and I know that. Now everyone is pissed at me and saying I'm being unreasonable and making the living situation tense. They think I should just accept that Christian isn't welcome anymore and stop making a fuss about it. A few clarifications. If I knew of anything Christian was doing that was actually annoying, I would have mentioned it. No one has brought up any specific behavior. When I ask Mallory why she doesn't like him, she just shrugs and says, "I just don't." I'm also bi, and she's never had an issue with any of the women I've dated who came over, so I'm not sure if that's relevant, but it feels worth mentioning. We don't really take over the common areas. We barely use the living room unless there's something we want to watch that I can't get on my bedroom TV and no one else is in there. We use the kitchen more than the living room, but even then, not that often. Honestly, we eat way too much takeout. For context on how we all ended up living together. About a year ago, I was moving out of uni halls, and Megan was looking for a new place, so we decided to move in together. Around the same time, Derek, a guy from my course, was also looking for a flat share. We couldn't find a 3-bedroom, but we found a really nice 4-bedroom. Derek mentioned his cousin Mallory was also looking for somewhere to live, so she joined us. I only met her last year, and we're not particularly close. So now I'm stuck in this situation where my boyfriend is the only partner being banned, and I'm reacting by trying to enforce the same rule on everyone else to show how unfair it is. I know I'm being petty, but I honestly feel like there's one rule for me and another for everyone else, and I'm trying to make that point. Am I really the asshole here for insisting that if my partner can't come over, then no one else's can either?